libertarian events because I sat down with this lady right here, and when I was talking to her, she actually wanted to meet me. She had donated $50, and obviously I wanted to meet her because she's a lovely lady. But the thing about it is she started talking, and she asked me a question about what I thought about the right being involved in religion and things like that. And I'm not going to tell you what she said or what we said, but I just kept my mouth shut because I knew she was about to tell me what I thought. And so that's the best thing about coming to a libertarian event, because if you just keep your mouth shut, everybody will answer the questions for you, usually correctly. You know, unlike being at where I went today, which today I went to a Green Party event over here down the street. It was a lot of fun, and I usually say that the left is just one economics lesson away from being libertarian, and that economics lesson can be found in Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. If only they all had a copy of it, they would actually kind of understand. We had a good time out there today, but I think what was funniest was I gave the same exact speech that I've given this week 100 times to these guys today, and the reaction from the Green Party, most all Green Party candidates, was they all came up and shook my hand afterwards and said, "You have my vote." Now they've got a guy in this race, but at the same time, it's people want some sort of, I think that America is constantly divided. You know, I mean, and the media tries to divide people in separate groups and keep these people over here and these people over here, and what they do is they want to put up little issues in the middle and they want to have you fight. You know, they want everybody to fight it out. And while you are fighting it out, they're taking bags of money and stuffing them and putting them in the back of their car and handing them to their crony friends. And that's what we do. That's how our America is divided right now. For some reason, why is the Republican Party so against having was so hardcore into this social issue? Because if they weren't, they probably have a leg to stand on. Not that with, you know, with Paul Ryan, they don't have a fiscal leg to stand on. I can't believe Paul Ryan was elected. Can you imagine the guy voted with stimulus to charge? I had a friend tell me, "Oh, I bet you're so happy that a libertarian was elected as the vice president, or, you know, for nominated for vice president." And I was like, "Really?" And I laughed. He's like, "Why are you laughing?" I thought you were being sarcastic. I mean, have you heard anything about me or that guy that would lead you to believe that Paul Ryan is a libertarian? I'm proud to be a libertarian. That's why I'm a libertarian and not a Republican. You know what I'm saying? That is where we're coming from. Now, I only have a little bit of time because you guys came to see Governor Johnson, so that's why I seem to be speed reading through this speech. So, which I wrote 2 seconds ago as I typed it. So, but I'm going to go through a little bit of my speech here. You know, this whole dividing America reminds me of this. When you wake up in the middle of the night to this crashing sound in your basement, or downstairs. You go downstairs, and there's a guy standing there holding your TV like he's robbing you. And so the first thing that you're going to say to that guy, especially if you see him, obviously you're just going to run in, and the first thing you're going to say is, "What's your stance on gay marriage?" I get this wrong all the time. You're going to say, "What religion are you?" No, you're not. You're going to say, "Stop stealing my stuff." In America, we have all of these people in our lives stealing our stuff, and we're paying attention to these little things that I just talked about. Now, the Republicans had choices for a senator. They could have voted for, I think there was a guy named Glenn Addison, who I would consider to be a Ron Paul Republican. You know, and I love Ron Paul. And, but they had a choice for senator. And what they chose instead was they chose Ted Cruz, who's a lawyer whose wife works for Goldman Sachs, was in the CFR, the whole 9 yards, and they said, "This guy's a political outsider." Is he really a political outsider? Are you kidding me? He was in charge of Bush's domestic policy. Bush's domestic policy brought us what? The bailouts plus everything else. You know, and his foreign policy is even worse. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. One thing that is, you know, on my list is ending the wars. You know, and not just the wars that we're in Afghanistan, you know, in Iraq, ending World War II and bringing our own troops. Did I just steal your line? Ending World War II and bringing our troops home from Japan and Germany, etc. And not just that, we've got to stop trying to be the world's policeman and telling people what they can do in their countries and what they can't. This is the kind of thing that enrages people against us, and it causes terrorism. When people get onto a stage and they say terrorists hate us because we're free, there's 8 Republicans on a stage and 1 Ron Paul, and all of them say terrorists hate us because we're free. How did this happen? If you stand on a stage and say terrorists hate us because we're free, You should be disqualified from running for any office ever. You should be forced to wear a rubber helmet and sit in a room because you don't want to be a harm to yourself or others. It's the silliest thing that I've ever heard of. Terrorists do not hate us because we're free. They hate us because we're in their country, we're putting in puppet dictators, we're stealing the resources, and we're spreading democracy through the barrel of a gun. That's why people hate us from other countries. Now, the second thing, the other thing that I'd like to talk about is corporatism and it basically corporate welfare. We're talking about Solyndra, we're talking about the bank ballots, we're talking about the stimulus, we're talking about all these other things. We've got to stop. With every power when everyone gives any government any power, you give them that much more power to do the things that they want to do for their friends. And that's why we have to stop what they're doing. Every time that you say, well, you know, I think the government should maybe be involved with bringing back zebra-striped underwear from the 70s. No, because even if you believe that that's all they're going to do is bring back zebra-striped underwear, you give them the power to do more and more things for you. That's a really bad example. And it's good. You like that one? I like it. Sweet. So anyway, long story short, the other reason is that I'm enjoying this run, enjoying talking to people, is because I'm a libertarian, like a real libertarian. I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want with your life. You should be able to smoke, drink, eat, whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you take personal responsibility for your actions. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I sat outside of my bar one night, talking to a guy who was that guy. You know, you're talking to him, you're saying, listen, we need to allow people to you know, legalizing marijuana. He said, oh, you can't do that. It makes people, you know, makes people hungry, stupid, and lazy. Makes people hungry, stupid, and lazy. It's like, yeah, but that's, you know, I don't know that it really does, but can't you think of the financial, you know, the financial gains that we'd have if hemp was legal? Can't you imagine, do you really want to spend it? No, it makes people stupid, hungry, and lazy. You know, it's like, okay, well, what about this? What if keep $40,000 a year to put someone in jail? No, it's stupid, hungry, and lazy. Okay, so you're telling me that marijuana makes people stupid, hungry, and lazy. That's it. So we've had a 40-year war against stupid, hungry, lazy people, and we can't win it? I think it's time to throw in the towel. I mean, if I was a general and someone said to me, who would you like to fight? The Romans? You know, you'd like to fight in Afghanistan? No, I would like to fight stupid, hungry, lazy people, obviously. And I didn't think I would, right? But that's where we're at. Today, actually last night, I met a girl, diehard Ted Cruz fan. And we were at Brave New Books, and I was talking to her, and she said, well, why should we, do you think you're going to win? Do you think you're going to win? And I said, well, let's talk. You know, and so we talked for about 5 to 10 minutes, and by the time I was done, she grabbed a bumper sticker, a yard sign. You've got my vote. I completely believe in you. I can't believe I ever even thought about Ted Cruz over you. You know, and I said, well, thank you. And she said, you got my support. I'll be sharing your YouTube videos, everything else. I said, thank you. And I said, oh, by the way, you remember your question about, do you think I will win? I just did. Spread this message. Every time that one more person gets it, every time that when we're on this campaign stopping, we talked to somebody, when I went out and spoke to the Green Party, and all those people came up and shook my hand, this is the kind of thing, when you talk about supporting the Libertarian Party, this is what you're doing. You are supporting a message getting out there and winning over other people, and eventually we'll have enough. But if we don't have the support, if we don't get the people out there, if we don't get the message out there, then we'll never be able to do it. Now, the other thing I tell people is that it's not my job to win this election. It's my job to be right. And all I've got to do is go out there and be right in front of enough people and have enough support to get that message out there. So all I'm asking you guys to do is, when you walk out the door, our table's on the left. If you grab a bumper sticker and that's how you want to support us, support me that way. Because I will go out and give this message. If this is something you think would work on other people, then I will go out and give this message all the way across Texas until November 5th, 6th. And the point being, If it's a yard sign, we've got yard signs. Grab a yard sign. If it's a t-shirt, you wear a John J. Myers t-shirt, people go, who's that guy? That'll do something else. If you write, if you got $2,500 on you, and you cut that check, that ain't gonna hurt. And if you had a little bit less, if you just had a little bit less, that'd be fine too. And so, I do and hope that as you're going out, you might stop by and say, hi, our guys. We're running a full-on campaign, but in the end, I want you to realize, did we make a difference? We win every day. Everybody in the Libertarian Party wins every day that we go out and spread the message. We lose when we give up. Anyway, I'm John J. Myers. I was supposed to keep this short now. And thank you guys very much.